Hello everybody, welcome back to another video of The Truth Within. Today we're bringing you my story part 4. This is brought upon inspiration from one of my own experiences with fear and one of my own experiences with what those programmed responses were in terms of something that came up along the way to my goal with the Ironman, and that was swimming. That was a program belief in there that did not serve me. That wasn't what I wanted. That wasn't actually what I knew was true, but it was programmed in there and it was an idea that was fixed. So what I came to bring you today with this swimming is this feeling of ease. This is what I really wanted to share about my story that recently has resonated with me a lot, to expand that feeling of ease out to other areas of my life. So what I want to share with you is the experience itself. So here we go. So the very first time I was swimming, I vividly remember, I remember I signed up for the race and I was in Vancouver at the time, November 2021, and I was in Vancouver thinking about so many different things, looking up how many people have died, so many different things. I'd never ridden a road bike. I'd never ridden a bike with the thin tires. I just knew that this was calling me, and from what I've learned, you go for a goal you don't know how you're going to achieve, and that's where you grow the most in the shortest amount of time. So the first time I remember coming back to Niagara Falls and going to swim, I actually was at the pool at LA Fitness, and the pool, I remember, it's like a 22.5 meter pool. I remember getting in there, and from a kid, front crawl, it just seems like they're swimming so fast and they're just swimming like they're just going nuts. And I remember the first time I went in the pool, I got like halfway, probably about 11 meters. I was like hyperventilating under the water, feeling like I was going to drown. I had these workouts with my coach, the Ironman trainer, and there were workouts that it was like, okay, she was giving me different drills and different things, and it was all about, I have this breathing, the breathing, and it kept going for so long. It was like, it's the breathing, it's this, it's that. And this thing kept coming up because I've always been a strong swimmer, but there was this belief that I couldn't breathe underwater, and that's what dictated, well, not dictated, but it was fixed in there. That's the results that I was getting. It felt like I can't breathe. And the more I talked about it, it was just like, okay, let it go. And it wasn't actually the belief that I couldn't breathe at all. It was simply that I was trying to force my way to swim. And that comes to the topic of, this is my story of the swimming, and that comes to the topic of ease, of everything comes with ease. Relating this to running as well. If, you get in this moment where you're so hyped up, you're so pumped, I'm gonna run so fast. But that's all in the conscious mind. You're excited about it. You start to get hot and you start to get excited. It's not necessarily in the subconscious mind. You're not involved with it. You're just kind of like, it's a great idea, and then you go out there and you're not actually involved with the idea, and then you start out a little strong in the sense that it's all strong conscious mindedly. You're trying to force it. You're not involved with it. It's not ease. It's not you're just flowing with it because you're not involved with the idea. You're simply just thinking of it and you're like, wow, this would be great. You're not actually emotionally attached to it at all. You're just like, this is a spur of the moment, I'm going to do this. And then you go out there and you start to run, and then you lose your stamina because that starts to fade when things come up. And that's the same thing with swimming. It was like, I got to try harder. I have to go harder. I have to go harder. Look at these people are going so fast. The more I progressed throughout the 6 months, the less I tried, the better I got. The less that I tried to go faster, the less that I tried to go harder, the less that I tried to be perfect at doing whatever, the better I got. It wasn't going more, because in the middle it was like, I figured it out. I need to come every single day, and then I'm going to come every day. I'm like, that didn't feel good either. It's not the more you do it. It's not having to spend more hours at work. It's not having to do things more often. It's how you do them. It's not what you do. It's how you do it. And that came with the feeling of ease. I noticed throughout the whole time of the swim, when I looked back, I even said it before that I came to this realization that the swim and learning and reprogramming that belief that didn't serve me of all these different things, of I can't swim, I'm out of breath, all these different things. I see the more that I swam throughout the whole 6 months, as I went twice a week, and at the end it was around 3 times a week. for about an hour to an hour and a half sessions at their longest near the end the middle to the end. And it was like the less I tried, the less I cared about actually doing it. It was like, you know, I expect the end. I know that this Ironman is finished. I know that I'm across that finish line. And the rest of the process is all up to history. It's all going to plan out the way it's supposed to plan out. I knew that I was across the finish line. And the more I tried to, the more that it felt like, you know, that previous version of Ryan felt like he had to struggle, and I had to struggle to get there. The less that I was able to breathe, the less that I felt that I could do it, and the less I actually was getting my workout done. And the more that I let go of that, and I let go of the expectation, I let go of all this, because I knew that in the end, I'm done the race. So I let go of it all. I let go of if I was actually going to complete the whole distance she said, if I was actually going to complete the distance she said in the time, whatever. I let go of it all. Sure, there were certain days where, you know, it would be a little bit more interesting than the other days. And that's fine. Things are going to go up, things are going to go down. But as I kept going and I kept going and I kept going, you know, at first it was like I need to force my way to swim faster because, you know, I just got to do this, I got to do that, and then all these thoughts pop in. No, you don't need to force, you don't need to do anything. It just came with ease. And it came with flow, and it came with letting go, and it came with trying less. Genuinely trying less. That's when I started to swim faster, because I wasn't concerned about breathing more. I wasn't concerned about my breathing. I wasn't concerned about if I'm doing it right. I was just trying less and allowing myself to go through the motions. I knew what I had to do. I knew the different things that she was implementing. I was doing the drills that she had told me. And then through that practice, consciously thinking about it is not going to do anything. It's just going to make you panic more. It's going to make you feel like you don't have breath. It's going to make you feel like this and feel like that. That comes with every area of life. And now I see and translating that to every other area. When I start to feel like, you know, this is where I want to be. The Ironman's where I want to be. I want to be this person, this type of person that does this. I want to be this type of person doing this at this place. And it's not, you know, the Olympians didn't get there by just trying so hard that they're going to swim so fast and they're going to get there. No, they started from a certain point. They learned the basics and they built up the basics through ease. They practiced with ease when there's no pressure, and they basically just practiced under no pressure. They trained over and over and over and over, and then they have that base, a foundation of ease. So when they're in that place, they're actually in their Olympic events, or they're actually in their swimming events. That is a programmed feeling, that ease of swimming with ease. And then they can build off of there. They can build off building speed with the form that they have, with the flow, with the ease, knowing where they're going. Same with running, same with anything else in life. For example, if I'm going to be scheduling the certain type of thing that I want to be scheduling, again, you can do anything you want to do, but there's a certain point where I see myself, and there's where I am now, and then there's building the base of getting there. That comes with ease, that comes with practice, that comes with starting at a place where it's just okay, there's no expectations of what you're doing, and you know where you're going, you just let go of those expectations. Because if you feel like I need to be an Olympian today, and you just started, well, you're killing your chances, or you're not killing your chances, but you're minimizing your chances of wanting to go back in the pool because you have such high standard or expectations for yourself that you feel like it has to be this way or else. Well, you know where you're going. So the process is all up to growth. It's all out of your hands. Just know that you go there, and the less you try, the more you just allow yourself to do it. And the more you let go of the expectations of this is how it's supposed to be, this is how it should be, you're going to see that it comes much easier. When you just have the expectation in mind, instead of consciously thinking about it and saying, this is what I need to do, I'm so excited, you're not actually involved in it. That's what's going to fade. When you live with ease and you live with flow and let the work for you, is when you have the expectation in your mind of where you're going, and you allow that to do the work. You allow the process to take its own process to where it's supposed to be, and you let go of the expectations in this moment. Because you know that the expectation of where you are and where you're going, it's done. There's no question about it. It's already a done deal. So I just wanted to share that with all of you. That's my story, part 4 of me coming to where I am now. And you know, when I was a little kid, and even a few months ago, I would swim and I would panic. I was afraid. I knew that I loved swimming. I do love swimming, and I always wanted to do front crawl, but there was this belief program in there that, you know, you're gonna drown. You can't breathe. You can't breathe underwater. Like, what is that? And the more I focused on that, the more and the less I felt that I could breathe, the less air I felt I had. And I let go of those expectations of you need more breath, you need that, blah, blah, blah. You don't need more breath. When you're running, you don't need more breath. When you're doing whatever you want to do, whether it's in fitness, whether it's family, whether it's finances, whatever you want to do, it's going to come with ease, and it's going to come with you letting go of all that false preconcepts and preconceived notions that just aren't you, that aren't who you are, or aren't what you're capable of. You know where you're going. You know the expectation of the end goal, and it's done. That Ironman, I knew I was finished. I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I knew that that finish line was already crossed. I'd seen it in my mind thousands of times. Whatever was happening elsewhere, you just keep refocusing back on the goal. Whenever you fail, whatever happens along the process, that's a part of the process, a part of you getting there. That's a part of you saying, okay, well, that didn't work. Now I know where I'm going, so that's even better. That's something built on the base. Now I have a stronger base of knowing what's good, what works, what's correct, what's the correct way to getting me to that place. And when you have that expectation in your subconscious mind, when you know that this is where I'm going, you've let go of all expectations in the process. This is what I should be. This is where I should be, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. If you meet those, okay, sure, but you're not hard on yourself. That doesn't get you anywhere. When you have that expectation in your subconscious mind, that guides your actions. When you know that this is where I'm going and this is what I'm doing, that guides you. You don't even have to do anything. You literally live with ease. You just do what you got to do. You're not trying to force it. You're not trying to brain power or willpower your way. You're simply operating with the picture of where you're going, and that simply guides all of the steps, everything that you're doing. You might say that sounds pretty ridiculous. You need to consciously guide yourself. Well, I'll tell you that your habits guide yourself. When you form the habit and you continue to think about it every day, instead of you starting to think about what you want, just as I saw in the Ironman, you consciously think of what you want, but instead of you having to entertain it all the time, it starts to pull you. Instead of you having to go there and you having to entertain this dream and this goal all the time, just at the beginning, it starts to pull and gravitate towards you. And that's when you've become involved with it. And that's when it's a subconscious expectation because you've thought about it and you've went there so often. So I just wanted to highlight the feeling of ease, and I wanted to highlight the feeling of this story and how it relates to everything else. Because I saw the less I tried, the more I gave up, I let go of those expectations, and I just let go and I allowed the process. I saw that the less I tried, the more I let go, the better I got at swimming, the more that I aligned myself with the path that I knew I was going. Genuinely, that's how I feel. When I look back, I see that at the first it was like, I need to try so hard, and then it was just like, okay, just relax. And then it was like, the more relaxed I got, the faster I got, the better I got. And the better I got in the sense of moving towards my goal where I expect. And through that practice and repetition, when I got out there, you have all these training thoughts of all these different things. When you get out there, those are gone. Those are gone completely. I also saw this from another person as well, that if you don't have those training thoughts, or you're someone that says you don't have those, where you're like, how am I supposed to keep up with this? That resonated with me so much because I didn't realize that was even what was going on. Well, I did. I just didn't realize that it wasn't just me. Everyone has those thoughts. If you have those thoughts of how am I supposed to keep this pace? What am I supposed to do? When you're in it and you've done it over and over and over again, that's like the subconscious expectation pulling you through. When you're there, it's going to happen because you've trained there. Things are going to come up, but that thing that you focused on in your mind, that picture, that goal, that dream, is going to pull you through. You don't know how. You don't know what's going on. Like that 4-kilometer swim, I can tell you it was like an hour and 20 minutes. And if I were to do that in the pool, when I did that in the pool, it felt like, it felt like ages. Like it genuinely felt like it was just excruciating almost, because it was like, holy smokes, when is this going to end? But when I was out there, the distance, there were so many people around, I wasn't even thinking, I just knew and I expected the end. And everything else took care of itself. Sure, there were points where your mind's like, okay, well, blah, 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 blah. You know where you're going. You know what the place is. You know what you're doing. Let it be. Let it go. And it literally will take over. It takes over. All of it. When you know where you're going, you set it high. The feeling of ease and the feeling of flow, allowing the work to do the work for you. that's when things and magical miracles start to happen, because miracles happen every day when you allow your subconscious to do the work. So thank you all. This is my story part 4. This applies to every area of your life. I'm learning what that looks like for me. I'm learning a plan and translating this to every area of your life, because once you learn how to do one thing, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So learning and understanding this feeling of flow and ease, and learning and understanding that it's not a force. You have to visualize yourself there. When you feel like, I'm hitting this place that I just can't seem to get past, the way that you get through that is through using your imagination. You see yourself in your mind getting past that point, because if you're going to consciously think about it, you see things in the environment and it's the same old, you're seeing the same results again and again, you're seeing it again. That creates the same thoughts, it's going to create the same feelings, you're going to produce the same actions, and you're going to see the same result in your conscious mind. So in order to get past those places, in order to get through that place you feel like you just can't get through, you must go there in your imagination and see yourself doing it with ease. See yourself swimming past those next few laps. See yourself getting those next few customers. See yourself making those next few sales. See yourself running past that distance you feel like you just could not previously. Because until you see it in here and it's not out here, it's never going to be out here. You have to see it first. And I had to do that for my swimming as well. When there was a point, my mentor said, hey, well, this is what you got to do. You have to see yourself in your mind going through there. And then the next time I went out in the pool, I actually did it. And it was just subconscious, because I actually seen myself and pictured myself doing it with ease. Where there was a point where it was like, I just can't, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I just can't, because I kept seeing the same result, but never actually seeing myself getting through it. And once I did that and I expected, I was like, okay, well, I've actually done this. I've seen myself doing it before. I know what that looks like. And then I just fed off that image. And I went in the pool and I started to swim way further than I ever had, with same amount of breath, same person. Things hadn't changed. What changed was my thoughts. So visualize yourself with ease. See yourself with ease. And use yourself in the most effective manner by calm, relaxed, laid back, allowing the work to do the work. You don't need to put in more hours. You don't need to go to the pool more. You don't need to practice more. Sure, practice does make improvement. Yes, practice is very good. Practice is essential to growth. But if you feel like in order for me to get through this, I need to try so hard, that you're mistaken. See it in your head first. Go there, see yourself with ease, make the adjustments. Try it out in real life and you'll see miracles, so to speak, do happen, and they are real. Miracles come from your mind, not from out here, from here. So thank you for listening. This is my story part 4, feeling of flow and ease, swimming, how that translates to every area of your life. I hope this resonates with you, and I will see you in part 5. See you soon.